Hey, do 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 do. So I'm watching Mandalorian, and I see the man come home. It's the muffin, yes you know. Here's here and not for show. You lied to me. Moff Gideon's back and he don't play. You lied to me. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. It did. Return of the Moff. That's again. Return of the Moff. Oh my God. Return of the. Help my God. Here I am. Return of the Moff. No, no, nobody,
No,
nobody.
you were
nobody.
killing it.
Yeah, you know.
You were fucking
what I'm
killing
talking
it. I was feeling those
Return of
vibes. I was clapping.
the Moff. Return of the Moff. That's all I can think of when I saw Moff Gideon pop up, bro. Y'all know I've been talking about the Moff. You know what I'm saying? I've been talking about the Moff. That's my dog right there. You know what I'm saying? So we got to pull up and chat about the Moff. What's going on, everybody? Blurred Brunch. I'm here live with Aki and Saltfish. What you know about Aki Saltfish, boy? Let me go ahead and pull up for you. You know what I'm saying? We got the Aki and the Saltfish. Yeah, what's this? The boiled dumpling. Y'all hear me? Plantain. Y'all hear me? Straight from Reggae Rhythm. Reggae Rhythm, a Popka, Florida, Wharton, pull up for all of them we don't know, a beer thing we I got there pan. And yes, sir, we joined live with the homie Bad Ty. Where you at, Ty? You at work? Oh, I forget he got a green screen, but I was like, this dude got a job now. He done pulled up. And that's my bad. That's my bad. I know Chai be working hard. I'm sorry, but that didn't come out the right way. Anyway, Yaz is in the building. Bad Ty's in the building. Good Tyrone is in the building.
Rebrand.
All right, I'm all over the place. When I ain't got my Aki, man, I ain't up to par. And Nolly straight from the dentist. Oh my God, yo. You all right, Nolly? The toothache? What's going on?
We struggling. It's all right. It's fine.
Yeah, you need us to pull up on somebody, bro. I don't care if it's your kids, bro. What's happening, man? Somebody fucking with you, bro. What's happening?
Them kids, it's fine. We're fine.
All right. Just let us know. You know what I'm saying? I got the lifesavers on deck. You know what I'm saying? I pull up with the heat, with the stick. You feel me? All right, man. Well, anyway, we didn't get a chance to do our little intro. And since we did have a early morning show a little earlier that starred one of our favorite blurs themselves, I figured we go ahead and do the intro this time. Hey, why not? Shoot, let's do it.
I love the new blurred order. You should too.
Whoa.
Let me get all this 10p Wayne. All the niggas rapping about the same old thing. I've been coming through with the same old gang. Ain't shit changed except nine got a name. Got it out the mud but we got no stains. Cold ass ninja with a gold ass chain. The girl call me daddy, not my government name. Money on my mind, got them bands on my brain. Let me tell y'all about a nigga I know. The nigga stay clean, so he always got hoes. Light skinny bitches like.
So on today's episode of The Mandalorian, we are joined by one the new version of Mando in IG 12 and a half, as he walks amongst us saying yes, 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 no, 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 sounding straight up like Destiny Child in his newfound Cadillac slash Krangmobile. And I actually thought this episode was fairly dope. I'm interested in y'all's opinion on it. When we ain't gonna say we gonna hang out too long. Oh, hey, talk about black. Look at melanin popping like legit. You know what I'm saying? You better pull on up with the melanin pop. Hey, what's going on, Steph? How's everything? You Gucci?
Good. Just in transit, so I'm popping in while I can before I have to run out the door in like.
Okay. Well, we have everybody's here for a limited time only. It's kind of like the McRib. We here and we gonna do it while we can. And check it out. Just want to see what's going on in everybody's world. But before we ask everybody how they doing, nah, man, how y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? How y'all doing? Well, all right. I guess
feeling good. I guess that wasn't a rhetorical question.
You was dealing with some sniff. You was going through it. How you feeling, bro?
No, much better. I feel like myself again. It took a little while, but for a month I was like sick off and on, and it sucked. But I'm back. Feels good, and I'm
you look like yourself again. Can I just say that?
Oh, thank you. I did look like I was dying last week. Like I got bit by a zombie or something.
Yeah, it's our melanin. It's our melanin, dog. Like soon as it just be like the little bit of faint of just pale. We're just all pale. It's that super light skin stuff.
You mean you didn't go and like boil some soursil and then like put a little fabuloso in a pot and whatever
Nah,
it is that
my
Yaz be telling everybody to do to
Be telling everyone to
every
do that
time we
shit.
have
oil
if there's
fabulous.
any kind of ailment, Yaz is like, well, first go find a frog, cut off its leg, put it in the stew. We're like, yo, trust me, dog. Like I'm Latino, like this is what we do. And shit. I'll be like, yo, hold on, man. Like what happened to good old Tylenol? You know what I'm saying? Nah, but
This is
I'm
why we
glad you're
don't
feeling
crack.
better. I'm glad you're feeling better.
Steph, how are you? I mean, I know you the busiest one out of everybody, man.
I'm shocked that you got time, man. What's going on? How you feeling?
I am okay. Life is lifing.
Life is life.
I am getting ready to go into the city for a rehearsal because I have a show tonight.
Yeah.
Now you did mention that. If you don't mind me interrupting, what? I mean, can you tell us about what you rehearsing?
Sure.
What is there a show?
This is with North Coast, the premier hip hop improv group. It's been around for like 14 years, although I've been in it for like 4 months. We are doing a show called Anybody, which is an improvised hip hop Hamilton parody where the audience gives us a historical or celebrity figure and we create an on-the-spot musical based on their life.
Okay.
All right.
That's kinda cool.
Dope, man. Look, I'm a little low-key jealous because all these folks you work with get to see you perform so often, and we only get to see it when you post a snippet. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, pull
So
up.
we gotta make sure, like when we do New York Comic Con, which hopefully is on all of y'all calendars. All right, we gotta see Steph at the show. Now, at some point, not now because we limited on time. We'll talk about my little appearance, my little low key bomb. I bombed as an improver. If that's a thing.
What? I have a hard time believing that.
I was with y'all, man. You witnessed it. I don't know if you was there, but your group after we did New York Comic Con. See, that's why I say we're gonna talk about it right now.
I was there. Remember, I had to fly.
Oh yeah, that's right. You had went
for a gig.
But it was a whole weird. It was an interesting experience. Tyrone stand up and improv comedy, completely different talent skill sets.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I learned that the hard way. But there's a whole context behind it. Bad Ty, man. What's going on with you, bro? Oh shoot, you're not Bad Ty.
Well, as you can see, a couple of things changed. I'm no longer Bad Ty. I'm Bad Tiffany. That was a picture of me you just saw as my new self. So I hope that everybody accepts.
I love that for you.
Thank you. It's transition, and I'm glad to be who I am. Everything is good, man. It's great to be here another weekend. Coming through with my blurs, and we're gonna talk some Mandalorian and some other things, and I'm excited to do so, man. I got a lot of remarks.
Absolutely. Now, Nolly, we already asked you what was up, but what's up?
Nothing. Also, like Steph, life is lifing. I'm getting used to a new job. I've been in HR for a long time, but this is my first like big girl manager of too many employees type role. So it's been a big adjustment, but I think I'm gonna do all right. I'm happy for this show. We've been growing in numbers on different platforms.
Hallelujah.
And so it's been an interesting couple of weeks, but I'm ready for more.
Absolutely. Well, I'm glad you're here, and I hope you feel better. And I hope your mouth heals. Hopefully, this company comes with insurance, dental included. So we'll just have to wait for the 90-day probationary period, and go ahead and let that thing kick on in. But man, it's a lot of stuff going on. Too much for which we can probably fit within the time that we have. So let's just drop a couple things real quick. Obviously, for everybody who did get an opportunity to see the show as it did earlier, Yvette Nicole Brown, our proud sis in Blerdhood, not only was on the show, but shouted us out numerous times this week. And we can't thank her enough for that. That is a big deal. So thank you. Big up to Yvette. Also, as well, this week, if you've been paying attention in the Blerd sphere, a new trailer is among us, and the Marvels. Now, I think Tyrone and I share the excitement for this movie. I think that this is going to blow the rest of the movies out of the water. I think that there's no other movie like this, point blank period, that we have seen. We've seen Avengers, we've seen Justice League, we've seen a bunch of male dominated superhero casts, but it has been a while, other than like Charlie's Angels and maybe a couple others that, are a little low key, that we've seen like a dominant force of women of mixed backgrounds take to the screen in such fashion. And I ain't gonna lie, like I'm geeked up about it. We also obviously we have a new episode of Mando in which my man, like I said, got a Cadillac and the Moff is back. And just a quick announcement for in the next couple weeks, we actually have the Mighty Z, who will be appearing on the show as a guest, who some of you all may know if you're in the Blerdy sphere. She recently was the recipient of an unnecessary misogynistic rant by a comic book creator who also kind of denounced Blerds, but in the meantime is also trying to solicit support from the Blerd community. So that's a whole different subject that we'll have to talk about. So I'm looking forward to speaking to her, getting her opinion on whatever's going on, and also just talking to her about Marvels and everything like that. So I'm geeked up, man. I hope y'all are having a better week than I hope y'all. If your week's not going as well as you wanted to, I hope it's getting better. I hope it does get better if it's not where you want to. Also, if you're following us right now, I think that's Lisa. What's happening, Lisa? We always can count on good old Lisa, good young Lisa. All right, it's a phrase. Don't take it to damn.
That was
Tyrone, see, this is why
OLE. That was OLE, like the good old, like
exactly.
Yeah.
Good old boy,
yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying, like like you know what I'm saying, like massage you know what I'm saying. So pop in if you're in the group. We only put this in the group to let y'all know that we was around. Go ahead and pop on onto the YouTubes, man, so we can see your name, so we can know who we working with. Yeah, get on about that group because the group has got y'all looking like you're like you're in witness protection program,
or sign every comment that you make
you
with your name, like a grandfather.
Right. Home remedies, don't sleep.
It's like you remember them commercials where like the adults was like, I love Frosted Flakes, and they was in the dark, and because it was like So anyway, so hop on over there, man. We also had our highest viewing Twitter feed to date. We were in the thousands, on a Twitter feed, which I had never seen before. Honestly, I thought Twitter was like a bad neighborhood at this point. But let's go ahead and speed on into what I really think that we all are here for, and that is obviously to talk about the Mandorific, Mandalorious Mando that happened this week. A lot of things happened, man. It was very eventful. We did, like I said, we got to see the Moff make his return to the big screen. I'm gonna go ahead and put this up real quick, and if y'all could just give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down as to hold on, man, it's fine, man. Thumbs up or a thumbs down as to whether or not you dug this episode, whether or not you thought it was trash, whether or not it was mediocre, whatever. Go ahead and put the thumb up or down in 3, 2, 1. Yeah. Let me guess, Steph. You haven't been granted clearance.
He was out of town, so I couldn't watch it.
He was out.
He was on a family trip.
Did you tell him sometimes, like it's okay to like watch without each other when you're distance?
Yo, listen, I'm gonna have to step in.
He would have been
Group
fine
watch
with it,
exists,
but I'm not fine with it. I finally have a good thing. I'm not fucking this up by watching The Mandalorian too soon.
Man,
if your relationship is so weak that watching The Mandalorian will break it up, then there's a big problem. All right, I thought love was blind.
He actually has told me if you need to watch it for the show, it's fine. But I'm like, no, babe, I'm loyal. I'm not gonna watch it without you.
Okay, so I
she's not loyal to us.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah, loyal to who?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like since when? Like
we were here first.
I love y'all very much, but you are not doing for me the things that you do for me.
Damn.
Sorry.
Damn.
There's some things we can't compete with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I ain't even gonna go there, but let's just say the dark saber rules all.
That part. This is the way.
This is the way. But I want to throw this out there real quick, Steph. There's a thing called group watch. Like you can group watch on Disney Plus. I don't even give you. I was gonna say I give my login. I don't know. I don't want to see your profile. Stop it. I pop up. It be like dad.
No,
wife,
and some weird shit
daughter,
happens.
Steph. Like, hold up, who is Steph? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, there's a group watch. you know. But maybe that's your cuddle time. You know what I'm saying? I guess I'm happy that there's only a couple episodes left, so we can finally get y'all to something.
I intend to get caught up today or tomorrow. I'll be caught up soon.
quick shout out to the comment section. What's up, Lisa? Of course, the ever so loyal winner of one of our commentary awards. I see Wes Matthews pulling up on the YouTubes. Appreciate y'all, man. Go ahead and hit that like button. If you ain't subscribing already, go ahead, smash, hope, and do that. I gotta go to. We have some mixed feelings. Now I don't know if Bad Ty was keeping it real or not, but I thought I saw a thumbs down. A thumbs
Spoilers
down?
are coming, by the way, for anybody who.
We spoiling it. You know what I'm saying? So now we giving y'all a few days, man. So hopefully y'all, if you really, abide by the creed, and you walk in the way of the Mandalore, and with the ancestors through Lake Minnetonka, and you saw the mythosaur, then we shouldn't have to tell you this. But yes, it's spoil time, baby. Ha! And I mean, if I ain't spoiled it enough already, we started off with Moff as Moff is in the header. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of spoiling going on anyway. But yeah, man, let's go ahead and spoil this away. Oh, wow, Bad time. Thumbs down, bro. What's up?
Yeah, I've got a lot of reasons why I didn't like this episode, and I think y'all probably should wait and just go ahead and y'all go over why y'all like the episode, because I'm about to bring this whole thing down.
Oh wow!
A whole night, and this was that episode that So y'all go ahead first and bring all the positivity, so I can come in and be negative Nancy.
And you turned Steph into a Black Lives Matter square. Right quick, that's all good. Let's start with positivity, and then we'll go to the men. How about that? So Nolly, what does your tooth think about this most recent episode of Mandalorian? If you can even talk.
Well, just like my tooth was screaming, I was screaming. I had a lot of feelings, okay? I was like, why are we using the Darksaber? Why would you walk so far ahead of people? Oh my God. Paz, no. What's happening? What the fuck is that? Where did all these creatures come from? Damn, we went from Florida to Australia. What the hell is going on? So, okay, but then when Moff came out, and I was like, "Oh, Jesus, look, is that Beskar?" I was like, "Oh, that's nice," and I was like, "Wait, he's the bad guy. He's the bad guy. Hold up. Don't give him credit." But I was like, okay. And then the Shadow Council, and then Hux was there. I was like, I know your son, he ain't shit too. But like, it was cool to see some dots connected, but I didn't appreciate all that extra shit that was going on at the very last minute, because I was watching the time wind down, and I was like, wow, this is what we're doing. Okay.
Yeah. Indeed. Yeah, the Shadow Council. Yes, with let's just say surprise appearances. Yes. What about you?
I mean, I completely agree with Nelly, and I thought that the whole scene with Paz Vizsla was just, a little extra for me, only because like they had Beskar already, the troopers did. And then what were the more gangster hardcore ones with the stick called?
Praetorian.
What are they called?
Praetorian Guard.
Yeah.
Okay, so those Victorian Guard dudes, like, yeah, that was a piece of cake for them. So I felt like, that was, I mean, I don't know. I just felt like that part, like, why did Moff Gideon need those dudes? You know what I'm saying? He had all the Beskar dudes, like, you can't beat them with your Beskar, then obviously,
Well, so, I mean, them dudes was getting fucked up still. Like, the Mandalorians know how to fight against Mandalorians.
I get that.
Who all have Beskar.
I get that. But so
Well, go ahead, my bad.
I'm just saying, like, is the three dudes gonna be walking around with him now and be his personal guard, because all of his guard is dead now? You know what I'm saying? And now he's gonna have like these dudes. Like, what kind of even like lightsaber sword is that? I want one of those, because that shit was like, it goes into you and it like, like I'm trying to figure this out. Like, I don't know. I thought this episode was pretty dope though. My favorite part of the episode was definitely Grogu inside of the death machine saying yes, 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 and then stopping the fight between Paz Vizsla and Axe Wolf. I thought that was hilarious. Him being like, no. literally was the icing on the cake for me. So I don't know. This episode was it was funny. Also, I just felt like those Victorian dudes were a little unnecessary, and I hope they're going to be in the next ones, like, you know, as his guard, because if they just showed up for one time just to kill Paz Vizsla, you know what I'm saying? That fight took like a minute.
I don't know if I guess it depends on how you look at time. But yeah, I mean, how long does it take to die? You know, I mean, shoot,
they had
if
one.
that's what happens.
I'm just saying.
Steph don't care, man. She just wants to cuddle. It don't matter. She don't care about spoilers, man, as long as she gets to watch it with you.
Sorry, Steph.
Well, I would say, what makes it epic, before we go downstairs, is the fact that these are Mandalorians fighting against Mandalorian steel Beskar. Some would say Mandalorian weapons, in that they had, you know, jetpacks. One of my favorite parts of the episode was watching. I never can remember his name, but the dude that used to run the Mandalorians. That
Axe Wolf.
Yeah, Wolf. When he was fighting against old Paz Vizsla, and they were using their jetpacks like to move around. Like, I thought that was extremely good use of their armor and weaponry, instead of just having them fight like you know like they're Vikings. Like, the fact that they kept using the jetpacks was dope as hell to me. You know, I mean, it did get a little. It felt it got a little Shadow and Bone for a little bit when it was going through the desert. You know what I'm saying? I was a little like, where have I seen this before? Oh yeah, Netflix. You know, but I still thought it was cool. There was one scene that utterly annoyed me a little bit, but I'll wait to see if one of the ties bring it up first. Let's start with Tyrone, because at least he was like teetering on the edge. What are your opinions of the episode, brother? I mean, I know you watch it with a different perspective now, so
yeah. Luckily, my perspective has changed on the way I watch it, so I'm able to at least kind of like giggle my way through the ridiculous shit, which there was a lot of. There was a bunch of it. I don't want to get too much into like specifics yet. I do want to hear like everybody's opinions first, and then we could jump into it. But I do really wish that Moff Gideon would have just gotten into fashion. I think he would have been a much happier person if he just got into fashion and did like fashion shows on Coruscant. It seems like all he wants to do is design cool outfits for people, and you could do that, my dude. Like, you could do that without killing folks. I don't know what his, I guess he doesn't care about Grogu anymore, because Grogu was right there, and he acted like he didn't know anybody. So like, he didn't really care about that. The stormtrooper, Beskar thing, okay, but also like I guess that was just a failed experiment, and I don't know where they got those things from. I guess the armor is not as important as we thought, because anybody can make those. Anybody can make Mandalorian outfits. The armor was just trying to corner the market, I guess. Yeah, I said I wasn't getting into specifics, but here I am getting into specifics. It was goofy and ridiculous. The IG-12 thing was absolutely ridiculous. Nobody asked for that, but the Anzellans were like, "Hey, you didn't ask for this, but here you go anyway. Now your baby has a killer droid. Congratulations!"
Hell yeah, we love it. It's the best thing in the world.
Baby, no squeeze.
Yes. No, yes.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to. I can't wait to get into each thing, thing by thing, so I can roast this episode and this show, because it needs a good roast.
Pick this apart piece by piece. All right, Bad Ty, please
take it away.
Let it out.
Yo, listen, I've supported Mandalorian from day one. You guys know that I've been one of his biggest supporters. I've always been trying to say this is the best Star Wars show that I've seen on television. All right. I also understand that Tyrone is right. This entire season has been a filler season, somewhat similar to that of Boba Fett. Now, the problem is that obviously people don't learn from their lessons. So I'm going to have a conversation right now. This is going to whoever wrote this script. I don't know who did this particular one, this particular episode. But the thing about fillers, right, is if you're going to do fillers, and at the end of a season, you want to reincorporate the main character of a story, it needs to be in those moments epic when you have those chances to do so. There was a lot of balls dropped on this episode. This episode could have been epic. It could have been. The moment when they captured Din Djarin, you had an opportunity to do something to Din Djarin in that moment with everybody watching. You failed to do so. You captured him. That was that. You could have cut off a limb. You could have did something that would have been just like had us just going crazy the next day. Moff Gideon showing up was less than like I was just like when he showed up, I was like, eh. And then Giancarlo, I love you, bro. I love you in a lot of the things that you do. But this is not Broadway. This is the Mandalorian. That whole Broadway sounding like for that art, the Mandalorians. Like, come on, man. Dial it down. We don't need all of that right now in those moments.
Not Shakespeare in the galaxy,
right?
Yo, I felt that in that moment. Like it was just like, okay, so we're gonna see you in this new suit that you just talked about that you got. Oh, you see me in my new Beskar. Oh, you see me? I'm styling, right? Well, guess what? I'm not gonna fight anybody. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm gonna fly away when all the fighting starts. That again failed a moment because you just brought him back. It should be an epic moment because we waited the entire season. We got how many episodes left, Nolly? One, two? We got one episode. So we waited the entire season while you developed Bo-Katan's character, which we enjoy. But you had the chance to circle back and focus on the characters of this show who are Din Djarin and Grogu. And again, you don't let Grogu use his power because his daddy's in trouble. So we don't get to see that manifestation of what we've been leading up to all this time. You drop the ball again. So Din Djarin gets taken away. Enters Paz Vizsla. Timeout, y'all. All right. Paz, we didn't get to see shit but that situation. The whole season with Paz has just been this, this is the way. Oh, this really? This is the way.
He's been getting his ass kicked.
The whole time. The one time he gets to show up, which he did, and I was like, yo, you kill him. So out of all of the people that we have had time to grow feelings and grow emotionally attached to and everything like that, you decide that the one sacrificial lamb is going to be Paz Vizsla. And it fell so short of what they needed to do in that moment, man. And that's why at that moment, when I watched this episode, I finally saw what Tyrone has been talking about the entire season. And I felt so disappointed because they had so many different opportunities within this episode to really make us wow us and have us talking about this in a different light this time. Right now, y'all are saying, well, we liked it. We should have been coming out of this episode like, oh my God. And I wasn't an oh my God moment. I was more thrown back by Kellerman. What is his name?
Kellerman Beck.
Yeah, Kellerman Beck. I was more thrown aback by when he showed up than this shit with Moff Gideon. If they don't get Giancarlo to stop talking like he's in the next Broadway play, then I'm not fearing you. You're not a bad guy. Not a real bad guy, dude. I don't get that.
All right.
Vince sounds deflated. He took all the wind.
It sounds like a reach to
Mandalorian
say all that.
sales.
I mean, first of all, Moff Gideon sounds the same way he has since the beginning. So that's a stretch. Like, he's not talking different. He's just back. He was always majestic. He always had that. And frankly, a whole host of those Empire-based folks have this majestic way of talk. With the exception of, say, the lower level folks. Even if you think back to like Rogue One, I forget the dude, the main dude who was in Rogue One.
I forgot his name too.
The one who was always having problems, who was like deathly afraid of Vader, but like he ended up scoring the win right before the end, right before everything blew up. He had this like weird, like majestic way of speak. And I feel like there's always like some sort of like Vader is like over theatrical. Shit, don't even let's talk about Palpatine and how yes, oh, I'm afraid that the Death Star will be quite operational when your friends arrive. You know what I'm saying? Like these motherfuckers talk like that. That's how the fuck they talk. You know what I'm saying? And
That's
Moff
how
is
they
no
talk. So Moff, so you're saying that Moff
He's
emulating.
Did you not see what happened? Look, these motherfuckers are trying to they're trying to reinvigorate, revitalize the Empire. This is a resurgence. There's not some new old republic. They want the Empire to come back. Like they're basically saying Trump never lost. You know what I'm saying? Like we're still here. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a whole, we didn't lose the election. It was stolen. Dominion did all that shit. That's what the whole episode was about. These motherfuckers like, yo, they'll wait till they find out that we got MGT going up to New York to battle for. I should not be cross-sectioning this whole shit and making it into politics. I'm sorry. I
like it. You see me, I'm over here like,
Yvette Nicole. She did it this morning, and it was. Yo, by the way, shout out to everybody that watched this morning and realized at some point that we wasn't live. Like, I didn't want to. I had to think whether or not I wanted to actually put like on the marquee recorded, previously recorded, but I was like, you know what? We having fun. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. Everybody, Tiffy popped in, Lisa was obviously there, Minnie, everybody, pulled up, we was looking real deep. Comedy Hub, shout out to everybody pulled up on Comedy Hub. And of course, the thousands of folks that was watching on Twitter, which is again a phenomenon. So yeah, man, big deal. But I mean, listen, I'm never going to be able to, change either of your minds, and that's not even my objective. I can only be my authentic self. If I'm not, I'm being fake, right? And I just think that the show is enjoyable because where it's taking us. I like the fact that they were smart enough to not let the new Mando troopers, the Beskar troopers, whatever you want to call them, die with the gunshot because they're not gunshot. Like they have Beskar. So you saw them getting stabbed in the neck, shot in the neck, shot in between the armor. Like they had the wherewithal to make that stuff happen. I also noticed that Jon Favreau was back in production. If y'all looked at the credits, it was Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni that combined. Which I don't know. I will agree with you on this point. I did think that the Paz Vizsla sacrifice was A, unnecessary, B, underwhelming. I do agree with you on those 2 points. I do think that they did miss an opportunity there to make that more momentous. Oh, yeah. And they could have made it a little more grandiose. So I will definitely agree with you on that. And the point that I thought y'all was going to bring up, that maybe Tyrone is waiting to bring up, is when they were, riding through the Dune Sea.
That giant monster.
There was a fucking big ass
Australia
that they saw coming, and they went full speed toward this shit.
Yep.
Never thought about changing the sails.
They did after. They did after. You saw them veering. They were trying to escape after they saw.
They saw it from like so far away. Yes, like they was like miles away. They was like, look, it's some shit we about to run into. God. Well, let's. That was the most white peopleist. If I can channel my inner Stephanie, that was the most white peopling thing. And the dude that was actually running the ship was a brother. Like I recognize, oh boy, you know what I'm saying? I think he was in Luke Cage, and I think he was also in I don't know, I might be confusing with somebody else, but I know he was definitely in that show about the girl who went back in time into slavery, which I forgot the name of it. But
you're talking about the
Mandalorian who came and was like, where y'all from? You know what I'm saying?
No, I know, and that's where I saw him from. I'm not gonna lie, I was like trying to figure it out. I was like, is he from Games of Thrones? He related to Corlys or something? I'm like, where the fuck did I see this guy? I don't know if he was a Corlys.
I swear he was in like Luke Cage. I know he was in that show.
Are you talking about the Bushmaster?
He wasn't the Bushmaster.
That's not him. Yeah,
that's not him. No, that's not who he is. But I think he was in that show. He was like one of Cottonmouth's minions or something like that. Like Mariah Stokes. Like he was. I think he was. Now, I could be. Messing this all up. I could be confusing him with somebody else. God forbid. But at the same time, that shit annoyed me. Like that was when I had one of my first Tyrone moments where I was like, all right, so hold on. Let me get this straight. We see it coming. We tell everybody about it, but we're still going full speed towards this shit. Like, ain't no brakes on this shit. Like, everybody just has to jump ship. And the fact that they're able to, why the fuck is Grogu with them? Why are they taking this child? This has become kind of textbook Star Wars now, right? Like even the Bad Batch clones take Omega everywhere. They give her no armor. They give her a little bow and arrow like she's Link from freaking Zelda, and she still goes out killing. And they end up using her because she's small enough to fit and shit. But I don't understand, like, why is Grogu with you? He literally just got his learner's permit in his fucking car, and you got him already driving around with y'all and shit. Like, that shit was a little annoying. All right, go ahead.
He goes wherever Din goes.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's
they don't separate him.
Like that, yeah. Unless he absolutely has to, but he
drops him off with that curly haired lady that does the mechanic stuff. So yeah, that's
been kind of consistent throughout the show. Like, I mean, like once or twice, you know what I mean? Like when he relinquished.
Well, that is stupid.
It was because he needed to be protected from Moff Gideon before, because Moff Gideon was after him. Now it's pure Disney sidekick stuff. He's around to make baby sounds and and look cute and do silly stuff so we can laugh. That's his literal only purpose in this show at this point.
Let me make this point. They just got their 40 acres and a mule. They got a whole fucking suburban neighborhood to chill on in a whole goddamn planet that's not even it doesn't have no empire connects, no republic connects. It's its own freaking independent off the grid property.
Navarro, yeah.
So he had multiple, and not to mention, he has a whole Grieve Karga. He's got like a whole city, you know what I'm saying, where he can hide out, and he
could have left him with Lizzo.
IG-12, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, what good did Grogu do in this episode other than keep them from fighting on the ship? You know what I'm saying?
Advertised the new Lego figurines.
Just remember though, Grieve Karga and like Navarro got raided when Din was out last time in the last episode, or like one or two before. You know what I'm saying? That swamp looking dude. I can't remember his name.
They killed him. He's dead.
They killed but he was still blowing stuff up and everything before they got there, and they came.
The Mandalorians live there now, and they didn't all volunteer. It was only a couple dozen.
I'm just saying. But hold on, let me make a point real quick while I have your attention. So, you remember the little monster that popped out of the sand and everything? My whole point with that was like, why did that creature look like a creature off the Land of the Lost?
Oh, the Land of the Lost. Wow, you got a deep cut, man. The land.
Like, really, if you really pause that scene and you're like, damn, this looked exactly like the little like creatures on Land of the Lost. Like, and I can't stand that movie. And I like pointed that out real quick.
The land. Okay, you know what? I have a confession. I'm not sure I saw that when.
It's okay. You're not missing much, but just look it up. Like
that's one. I think that's one that was redone a couple times, right? Like they did.
Yeah, I'm talking about the one with Will Ferrell.
Yeah,
that one.
Oh, okay. You're talking about the Will Ferrell one. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's literally like the only thing that's different is the little tail thing or whatever, like hit the ship or whatever. That's the only thing that was like different. But they literally like skin texture, everything. It looked exactly like one of those creatures, just bigger.
Those dudes had been surviving on that planet for how long, and nobody thought to be like, "Hey,
that's what I was.
Stay away from the big spiky things because they're giant monsters."
Watch out for the big things that explode.
That's what makes it even more infuriating, Tyrone. They did say it. They were like, "Yo, look, there's some shit up there," and they was like, "Well, let's speed towards that shit and just abandon ship right before we get to it." You know what I'm saying? Is anybody able to take Grogu in his car seat up north up against gravity while we walk the rest of the way? I guess this is the way. It's like, no, bro, this is the wrong way.
I have another after Ty. I have another ridiculous plot hole moment.
I can't believe I'm coming to the Ty side. You know what I'm saying? But just for one episode. What's up, Bad Ty?
Nah, Tyrone, you took the words right out of my mouth because I was like, this is more of why I hated this episode so much. Like the guys literally said, we've been here, we stayed here, we never left. We've been here, we know all about this stuff. And the guys in the boat, like, you guys see that? They like, yeah, we see it.
Let's go towards it.
Like, yo, but do you see? And I feel like this was like, but do you see that?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Somebody should have been like, oh yeah, that's Greg. Greg, he's always hanging around. Yeah, like there's no way they didn't know that thing exists. It's crazy.
Head full speed. He likes it when you come up to rush him. But it was like none of it just made sense. Like it's like we're gonna rush Greg. Greg's gonna knock us out of the ship. But Greg just so happens to knock us out into the tunnel that we need to go in the first place. I was like, this is
Perfect.
y'all just are like perfectly like, oh, it's just nobody's dying.
Well,
We're
look,
just all gonna. He's gonna get.
I have an explanation for this. They did. I think if I'm not. No. Wait. No. Actually, my explanation makes it even worse because they asked. I think Bo-Katan says, "Yo, we want to go to the mines," and they were like, "We'll do you one better. We'll take you right there."
The Great Forge, yeah.
Yeah.
We know exactly what the forge. We know where it's at. Like motherfucker, you've been hanging out, so like you know this is the way. And when they get there, to their surprise, yeah, this shit's been took over by the Empire. Now, those are my complaints. Other than that, though, unlike Tyrone, I like the Krang suit. I like Grogu having a mode of transportation. I like him having a weapon. I think it's hilarious. I think it's also going to be. I think it's also going to serve as some sort of pivotal moment where he's able to utilize it, and it's better than him flying around in that little egg freaking stroller. What's up, Nolly?
I have questions.
All right, what's up?
Okay, so the episode is called The Spies. Okay, so obviously we have one spy, that chick on Coruscant, right? We don't like her. But who are the other spies? Because there were some suspect people moving in this episode. Okay, because how my man Axe Wolf, dipped on some, I'm going to get reinforcements at the right time. You dipped at the right time. Okay. Okay.
That's interesting.
Okay, and the armorer, love her. Okay, but she also dipped at the right time.
Ooh.
And also look at her helmet. Then look at Moff Gideon's new helmet. Why they got the spikes the same?
Ooh, wait a minute. Hold on. Don't not you getting in my head with the conspiracy theories.
I'm planting seeds.
Hold on, man. You might stop. Not Nolly making too much sense. What's up, Ty?
I would totally go with that, Nolly, if these motherfuckers knew how to write, but they don't. And that shit is like that shit is as well as it sounds, and as good as I would love to have a story that actually had something like that we're like, oh my God, I never saw this coming. That's good writing, by the way. That's what good writing looks like. When you don't realize what's gonna happen until it happens, and you're like, oh, now this shit right here was trash beyond trash. There is so much like look. This is coming from somebody who loves the show, by the way. But this is just this is ridiculous. You had an opportunity here to have epic moments. And by the way, Vince, Grogu doesn't need weapons. He is a fucking weapon. Like,
he's not.
He is.
He's not.
He's got the force.
Baby Yoda.
He's still a baby.
He took down a Mudhorn in the season 1.
But by force, right? He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Like,
okay,
I mean,
you're making my point. But again, you're making my point. But it's okay. It's okay. You want him to have a lightsaber or whatever it is that he needs in order to. But what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, this dude is a whole weapon if he wants to be.
He is not a weapon, bro.
All right, cool.
Let me tell you why. The distinction between him being a weapon, he's basically a good luck charm. You know what I'm saying? He shows up, and if he can help, great. But he's not dependable. They don't go into war being like, okay, we're going to trap him in this corner, and then we're going to unleash the Grogu. Like, they basically strap him to the back. They walk around with him, and then at some point, if they get in trouble, he's like, oh shit, I guess I got to do something. Unless it's an egg or Skittles or a fish. He doesn't use the force.
Now, let me ask you something. Right? There was a movie, was it Mr. and Mrs. Smith, a long time ago. And there's a lot of movies like this, where these individuals have, better yet, we'll go even better. Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier has a command code that you have to enter, and when you enter that command code, he can kill the shit out of you. But if you don't have you don't enter the command code, he's just a mild-mannered, chill dude. So my point is, it does not change the fact that he is still a weapon because he has not been unlocked. That is what I'm saying. This dude is a weapon, and all Jedi are weapons. He's not a Jedi.
They have established that he has control of the Force to some extent. He took down the Mudhorn. He force healed somebody, which is a very rare Force power to have, by the way. He also tamed a Rancor in Boba Fett. So we've established that was all. Well, the Boba Fett thing was after, but those other things were before he trained with Luke Skywalker. So it's reasonable to assume that he has more control over the Force at this point. But they've completely abandoned any of that.
Thank you.
But Tyrone, that was his decision when he decided to choose the chainmail.
No, he still has.
He can still do it though, Vince. That's what he's
Luke Skywalker didn't just take the Force from him when he bounced. Like he still has all of it.
If you leave, you can't take the Force.
Listen, if you've been watching the season, you realize that they are not training him in the way of the Force. They're training him in the way of the Mandalorian.
Right, but he left with Luke for a little while is what they're saying. And that little bit of time that he left with Luke did teach him some things. And because of that, he still has that knowledge. Just because he's not a Jedi and training with the Jedi anymore
and
does
before
not
he
make
even met
him
Luke,
not have
Thank you,
before he even knew what, like, he was already training he was in the Jedi Temple in Coruscant. Like he was already training as a youngling anyway.
My point is, there has never been a time in which he was actually utilized for his skill set. He has always been able to do it at the luck of the draw or by necessity.
Choice, though. Din Djarin treats him like a kid, though. That's why.
He's a baby. The dude was
50 years old.
So I'll cross-examine the witness here. Okay, so if he's only able to do it in the most dire circumstances, when he's looking at his one person in his life that cares him, when he's looking at Din Djarin being captured by Moff Gideon, he's like, well, I guess I can't do much here. I'm just gonna no and walk away.
Well, I mean, did he walk away or was he held beyond this?
You can Darth Vader force choke somebody through Zoom.
You're comparing Baby Yoda, who just got his restricted license.
He had a door in between.
Anakin Skywalker who kills children.
What I'm saying is, there was a door and about 7 feet between them. They're like, what I'm saying is, like, we've established he's got this kind of power, and he's if anything more powerful as he's grown. Mm-hmm. And
so what he's saying is, Vince, is Grogu has these deep powers that like other Jedis don't have, only special Jedis have. It's just like what he personally, he just was born with that shit. So because he's got those things, he's able to do certain things when he wants to do them. But most of the time, Din Djarin, Daddy, keeps him very close and sheltered in his bubble, in his circle, tells him to, shield up and shit. That's why he didn't want him to have the suit, because it gave him like it's like, Dad letting me go of the reins a little bit. No, like he was, what I'm saying? Like think about that from a parent aspect. He was like, no, I don't want you to grow up. You're not getting this fucking suit. He was like so mad. And he was like, yes. Like he was ready.
Right. That's my point. Like
Djarin didn't think he was, but he was. That's what we're saying. So like,
but the okay, listen, I will concede the prosecution
you just call him counsel's fine. I'll accept counsel.
Yeah, counsel. Okay, counsel. I will concede that he has powers, but if anything, this season has been showing that they're trying to show him another way. It's been twice now that Mando has said, I didn't teach him that shit. You know what I'm saying? This is like second time.
With Luke.
He stopped him while he was on the beach, even though he found out that those were little creatures. He stopped him from trying to use the Force. He said, like, he was sitting there trying to exercise his Jedi right.
He wasn't.
He was
you
watching
keep on
crabs.
saying that, bro.
They were moving. He was going to eat it.
Yeah, they were little
my
crabs.
point is, like, he has not in any way, shape, or form, in any episode or in any capacity, been dependent upon for his powers. He's always used them out of necessity, and even then, now, yes, could he have used them this time?
What about these goofy ass flips he's doing?
You think he just has hops like that?
Yeah, he's just been doing squats.
Yeah,
doing little Grogu squats, and now he's just jumping out the gym.
You are so willing to die on this hill that you are just like, you are literally not understanding what they're like.
I understand. You're just wrong.
No, I'm not wrong. Like I said, he is a weapon in itself.
He's not a weapon.
We can agree to disagree. Okay. How about this?
The Death Star is a weapon. A lightsaber is a weapon. The Beskar staff is a weapon.
Let me ask you something.
Grogu is a baby with powers.
Hold on a second. You ever seen the movie Firestarter?
Yeah.
Remember her dad?
Yes.
What was his power?
He could get into people's heads and make them change their minds.
Is he a weapon? Was he considered a weapon?
No,
I'll do you better. Was he considered a weapon?
All right. First of all, I don't know what that has to do with anything. You know
It has
what I'm saying?
absolutely everything to do with everything. Because
Can we just pause and just talk about how Steph is making that cab or that Uber look phenomenal right now? Like she is riding that Uber, bro. I don't know. It looks like she's on a dirt road, but still, man, like she's killing it. It looks probably bumpy. Yo, you about to kill that audition or that rehearsal.
Yeah, first of all, it's not an audition. I don't audition for things anymore. I decide whether or not to accept invitations. Secondly, yes, I have accepted that at this point I'm on today's show purely for aesthetic purposes.
We will we'll take it. All right, you know what I'm saying? Look, man, I guarantee you there's at least 3 people watching right now just to look at the middle lower box. And we'll take
I'm here.
Nolly's like, hey, it's Steph ain't here. I ain't here. You know what I'm saying? I ain't just.
Yeah, let me ask you another question because I feel like we've beaten the Grogu thing to death, and obviously we're right down here. But let me ask you another question. So they're flying into Mandalore, and Bo-Katan's like, we're going through the storm. We're about to lose comms, so they can no longer talk to the ships that are outside of the clouds for whatever reason, even though this has never been a thing. But anyway, however, Moff Gideon in his secret Mandalorian base is able to hold a whole Zoom call with all of the Empire while underground and under the clouds. So she can't contact her ship, which is in the atmosphere of the planet, but with the same Imperial tech, ostensibly. So I'm like, the show is just full of such ridiculous crap.
That's not fair. That's not fair. All right, you're talking the difference between, say, government issued Wi-Fi and
but all their tech is Imperial that they stole. Like their fleet is a completely Imperial fleet that they stole and requisitioned for their purposes.
But also they're going to uncharted lands. These folks have been there for we don't know how long. They've set up camp. They've been testing wherever the signal is the best. These folks just flew in. They don't even know what they thought up until this point that you couldn't even breathe. They just learned that there's still people alive.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, these other folks have been down there for a while. They even have a whole army set up already with Beskar armor and all kind of other stuff. So they've been well established. It's like the difference between saying to somebody, okay, well, you go into a house and you could use your phone, but you can see, look, I got the same Wi-Fi. I got the same. Now I'm on Mandalore. But yeah, it's like going to the house and like the difference between somebody who was renting there before and you're now moving in afterwards and they took all of the utilities with them. It's like, well, hold on, I still got the contact, put the deposit down, and I got to get my Wi-Fi set up. I don't know if that's a fair. Look, there are some fair arguments to be made about this episode, but the Empire having superior Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi and a signal.
There's never been any like the idea in Star Wars that anybody has like different level of communications has like there's never been a thing like tight band wide, like none of that's been a thing in Star Wars, right? It's always we got to send a message. Okay, let's send a message. Like no problem. Clouds have never been an issue. There's an entire place made of them. It's never been a thing until this one moment where for whatever reason the story dictates that they're not supposed to be able to contact their the head of their fleet for whatever reason, so the spy can move probably, and they just they just wanted to use this as a little bit of an obstacle. That's to me that's lazy writing. That's these kind of comms issues have never been a thing, and they're not a thing for an entire base. By the way, Mandalore is such an important planet. And the Empire, Moff Gideon has been able to establish an entire Imperial base. Nobody thought to just swing by and see what's happening, just like do a little flyby and see what's happening on this planet that's supposedly this important to you. Like nobody.
That's what Mando did, didn't he?
Finally, the only one out of all these fucking people.
One area. He was looking for the waters only. He didn't do like a full scape around.
He went, go ahead.
He just went for the waters. That's it.
Go ahead, bro.
Well, I just wanted to say that. I mean, like. Again, I'm not trying to give them any leeway on this episode. It's terrible. But so I could speculate all day about all of these different things, right? There could have been some type of different storm. We've seen it in other movies where certain type of storms cause signal disruptions and stuff like that when it comes to things like that. But who really cares, right? At the end of the day, the ball was dropped in so many different areas on this episode to where you just have so much to give out. You could say, why this doesn't make sense or not. None of it makes sense. None of it makes sense. you know, like I said, we should have been waking up Wednesday afternoon or Wednesday morning or whatever after we watched it or whenever you watched it, and been going crazy because Moff is back, which we already kind of alluded to, that we knew it was bound to happen at some point. But then when he comes back, it's so underwhelming. Mm-hmm. Then you have this moment where Den is caught. Den is in fighting, yo, and that fight was Den was fighting with one hand, using his fucking torch, his fucking flamethrower with the other hand. The shit was dope. In that moment, you either kill Den or you maim Den. Star Wars has always been like that. You have to have these moments where, regardless of the character, how much we love the character, how much we want to see the character move forward. These are the moments that make Star Wars epic, is when you have those moments. And they dropped the ball. You could have used Grogu in a different way. You could have finally let Grogu fully tap into his power, remembering all of the things that he learned when he had those flashbacks. You could have tied that shit in, because again, you brought that stuff up in earlier episodes and never circled back. You never tell us any context to why you brought that up or anything. So that's how you make it all tie together. And they didn't do that. And we got one more episode, bro. I'm like, whatever, man. It doesn't even matter.
I have a quick question for y'all to kind of, take it to the next step. So if the armorer is a spy, are y'all cool with this? Has there been any indication that the armorer has any kind of nefarious views or motivations or anything at any point in the 3 seasons of this show? And if so, what are those things? Because I don't think, like, for me, this is just complete, not even speculation, but like if they're going this way, which honestly at this point, like, the spiky helmet is the biggest clue that we've had. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if they went this way, because they just do whatever anyway. But I just want to see if there's been any kind of hint or maybe writing that would make us think this.
Nolly.
I think for me, it's, before everyone was like, oh, they don't follow the way, whatever. And she was like super against, and she was like, oh, you're no longer Mandalorian. And then even when Bo-Katan first spoke to her about the mythosaur, she was very like super condescending, like, right. If you say so, sweetheart, like, but then suddenly all of a sudden she was like, you saw the mythosaur. And I was like, wait a minute, didn't we just, like, I heard your tone. I wasn't crazy, right? Like, you was just like, yeah, if you say you saw it, you saw it. And now suddenly we're believing that she saw it, and then we're going to encourage her to take off her helmet. I don't know if it's like a lapse in character development or what, or they just forgot what they said the week before. But I don't know. There's like little things like that I was like, maybe it's plausible. I don't know.
Well, not only that, Nolly, but she was also being hella shady when she called her into that room and spoke to her in like private. You know what I'm saying?
And told her to take the helmet off and everything.
Go ahead, take the helmet off right quick. It's cool. Yo, do you respect me? You respect me? I'm gonna take your helmet off. All right, cool. Go and get the motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? And now she got them all in one place. And surprise, surprise, Moff pulls up and knows how to deal with him. What's up, Ty?
I really believe that we're gonna find it, and this is I take this back. If I were to write the next episode of this, I would probably finally show the identity of the armorer and tie her into Bo-Katan, somehow being of the lineage, maybe of the same house, something like that, to make it make sense as to why she wanted Bo-Katan to be the leader of this whole expedition to reunite all the Mandalorians and everything like that. That would make sense.
Well, her being I feel like she didn't make that speech. I'm not saying that's what I'm saying. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off that time.
No, but go ahead.
I was saying, I feel like she did make that speech when she like told her, like when they were talking about, her dad and everything, and like, like how like she's the one to unite people because she understands like, like the difference between, you know what I'm saying, like because of the choices that she made and everything, and how she lost the crown and everything like that, like she brought that up when she told her that, you know what I'm saying. So I feel like that was something that was spoken about, like between the two of them. It just wasn't something that was like a crazy conversation between them.
So the armorer as a spy has been trying to reunite all the warring factions of Mandalore, because that helps Moff Gideon. How?
Well, that's why you got to keep watching. But I don't necessarily know if that's the strongest of storyline. I will concede that this has been very developmental, more than likely out of necessity of the fact that Grogu's cuteness cannot just sustain the entire series.
Oh, they're going to
try.
They
have to add some elements of interest in other characters, and obviously, Bo-Katan is becoming more of a character that's in the spotlight to soak up some of the screen time. The other thing that we haven't really discussed is that they have also, I mean, now it's been multiple times given us the. Oh, I could have swore I put this on the thing, but they referenced Thrawn again. And so I mean, I thought that we were going to wait till maybe mid Ahsoka season before we start seeing Thrawn, but it's almost feeling like Thrawn is supposed to be here right now. You know what I'm saying?
They want this Thrawn thing to really be a thing. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Thrawn does nothing for me. I don't feel anything when I hear his name. I'm not like excited about the return of Thrawn or anything like that. So I understand that he's supposed to be a big deal, but also by the time we get to the sequel trilogies, nobody's talking about this dude. So obviously he wasn't that important.
Right.
Wait a minute. The sequel.
So, do you guys think we're gonna possibly see Ahsoka in like the last episode to like tie that into it?
I mean, they probably all get together and have a party.
It'd be unnecessary at this point. I mean, it really would be unnecessary, and you don't really want to taint. If I'm Dave Filoni, I don't even want to taint nothing going on. But I just keep y'all shit over there. Seriously, I'm serious because this shit has been tragic.
Oh my god!
Plus, I think the only person who knows where Ahsoka and Luke Skywalker are has now been captured by Moff Gideon. He had a chance to ask for help for the entire season. He could have been like, "Hey, Luke, remember when I came here to drop off that shirt that one time? Came over here to ask you. Things are getting kind of wild. There's pirates. There's all kinds of shit. You mind helping brother out? You're the most powerful Jedi that I know of. You could probably end this shit in like 5 minutes. Would you mind coming in and helping out real quick? Don't forget Grogu. He's your boy and stuff. We could really use some help." But he just decided, nah, we're gonna mess with Grief Karga for a while.
Yeah, all right. Points are made. I can't argue that last point. Luke's still around. That is
prime Luke Skywalker is chilling. Just absolutely chilling right now. Nobody has thought to give this dude a call.
Did anyone get a close up on the Krylos?
Ahsoka's chilling too. The two of the baddest Jedi are just they're having a nice little time in the forest.
But also, I mean, I don't think that I don't think that's how they get down, right? I mean, the whole purpose of this is to forge a unified Mandalore. So what does it really say that they have to lean on the Jedi to, for help? And also, I mean, were they anticipating a resurgent empire when they got to the
Forge?
The Forge,
no, that caught me by surprise completely.
Yeah, but even with that being said, like they went on you went to a planet that you haven't been to in years and years and years with a large army, and you didn't foresee any issues. Like, I mean, we pulling up like we pulling up. If we you can't say let's go reunite Mandalore and come with half the fleet. No, we bringing everything. We bringing it all.
Bring everything, man. They can't
you
bring
bringing it.
Ones.
You listen. If you can leave one or two Mandalorians back there to be the sitters for all of the fondlings, but most of the army is coming down because again, you are trying to take over this place, and you haven't been here in years. You went to a planet that you hadn't been to ever. And you got an alligator and a lion thing attacking you within, a couple of months of you being there. So what the fuck did you think was going to happen here? Y'all have a mythosaur, bro. What else you think? Like, what else you think is on this planet?
Give me a break.
The animals in the environment is obviously not something that's on their mindset, okay? Like, they're not thinking about the environment when they're doing all these things. They're thinking about their mission, their goals. They're not thinking about, oh, shit, there might be a pterodactyl come and take my kid. Or, oh, we might be swimming in this lake and there's an alligator going to come in at me. Or,
I don't know.
On this little boat thing and this dude.
But that's just the point. That's the point. Yes. No, let me finish. That's the point. The point is, you just went through that. Now you already know this shit. So now you're going to another planet not thinking that maybe this shit could happen again. That's what you do. You learn from your mistakes and you move forward. And that's what I'm saying. They moved in a way where they were so cautious. Like, you already know that the planet is sustainable with air. You've already established that. So the lie that was told about it being poisonous to thing was the reason that kept y'all away from Mandalore. Now you're going back to your city and you coming to take over. If I'm going back to my city where I'm from to take over, we coming deep. We're not coming.
And I want to say they do mention it in the show. They mentioned that subspecies have been able to thrive in this new whatever. And also they've been thinking about the environment because the environment kept them away from their beloved home planet for however long. They didn't mess with it. And then they did keep talking about going back to retake Mandalore. So like it's, you know, the things are all weird. But and also you stated that the whole point of this whole thing has been to kind of reunite Mandalorian factions and kind of get Mandalore together. But if the armorer is a spy, which it feels like might be a thing that they're trying to go to, unless the only thing that would make sense is that she is Death Watch and is trying to she made a deal with Moff Gideon to get the Darksaber and become the ruler of Mandalore. She could have this is a very roundabout way to get there, to trick it, to get yourself more enemies that you'd have to face to come in.
Have to take them out. Like if her goal
right,
is
but she could have been like, "Hey, Bo-Katan, let me hold that Darksaber real quick." And Bo-Katan might have,
maybe it's revenge. You know what I'm saying? Like they all had to flee and everything, like from their home planet and everything. Maybe it's like revenge. You know what I'm saying? Like because of the thing that, like because of Bo-Katan and the way she ruled. Maybe it's a revenge because of what she stood for and how everything fell. And like they just found out that like what they were told about Bo-Katan and how like the Darksaber and everything was given up. They just found out that was all a lie. That like she surrendered, he fucked her over, and then that's how like Mandalore.
So in that moment, she was like, I got to get some revenge. After hearing this story, everything about what I think
it was already in play. Things were already in play, and she was like, "Oh shit, I fucked up." Maybe, you know what I'm saying? And like now they're like, she gathered them to go. Like if you think about the conversation she had about when she was gathering them, like who among us is going to go? We need someone from every troop. You know what I'm saying? Like she knew that Din Djarin was gonna go. She knew Bo-Katan was gonna go if Din Djarin went. She knew Grogu was gonna go. So if you think about Paz Vizsla, you know what I'm saying? Like all the main people were going to Axe Wolf. You know what I'm saying? Like all of the main people were gonna go on this mission. She knew that, and if she was setting them up, which not only was indicating, which I mean, it does kind of like it does fall together a little bit. Like they showed up, he showed up at Beskar, trapped them, and then the fucking Victorian dudes came out of nowhere, and Paz Vizsla decided to take one for the team. So. I'm just saying, like it does kind of fall. Like if you really like do the math, and Nolly's kind of right. Like
this math ain't mathing. Yeah, this math ain't mathing at all.
Yeah, not at all. Now that would be totally counterintuitive to her ideology, wouldn't it? Because like the whole Mandalorian way is that of honor and all of that. Everything that y'all are saying goes totally against everything that she stood for as the armorer and the person that is trying to keep this ideology alive. So
if you're a spy, wouldn't you be like the head like person that would be like on this cause though? Is all I'm saying. Like when it just to make sure that people don't catch on to the fact that you're shady as fuck. Like I'm just saying, every movie we have ever seen, that's what happens. That's all I'm saying.
Well, well, every movie I've ever seen where they have a person with an ideology, that's not how that works. Like that's one of the things that typically. That they hold true all the way to their death. And
I mean, time out. Can I
finish my? Go ahead. All I'm saying is that from the very beginning of the time that we've encountered this woman, her thing has always been the creed, and has always been about honoring the Mandalorian code. Right. She has been that consistent person from the very beginning to the very end now. Now, all of a sudden, you're saying that something happened just like that, and she decided to throw away all of the stuff that she had.
You haven't been watching Star Wars.
Can we just revert back to Reva and her character? She was a second sister, bro. She was like literally pretending to get close to Vader just so she could fucking kill him. Hello.
First of all, again, we're talking about a person's ideology and a person.
It's a cover. It's a front, bro.
Thank you. She's a second sister. She was
All
literally
right, cool.
like his
Never
head
mind.
minion.
Never
Like,
mind.
how do you not have the same
got it.
ideology?
Also, that was I'm gonna be real. Like that's an example that helps that the point that they're making. Although I would argue a poorly written example of where you could say, yeah, technically this makes sense, but also kind of dumb.
But it makes sense because it would explain where their armor is coming from. This is the armorer. The whole entire troop is best guard up.
Their armor comes from Mandalore.
Yeah, but if you're making a deal with, let's say I believe that she sees Moff Gideon and the Empire as her way to retake Mandalore, become leader of Mandalore. Okay, cool, that makes sense. Wise choice if that's your end goal, right? But all the people of Mandalore are already spread across the galaxy doing their own shit. Axe Woves got mercenaries in an outer rim world, not even thinking about Mandalore, would never even think to visit the planet because they're just doing their thing. There's a couple people on a sailboat on Mandalore you may have to deal with. Din Djarin and Bo-Katan are kind of running around doing their thing, but they're the only ones you really have to be concerned about because they're the only ones who have been to Mandalore. So what I don't see is why the hell the armorer would gather all these people and reunite all of these people in an effort and to basically give herself a harder road to her goal. That's just what kind of,
if it's to set them up, it makes perfect sense.
But
it's not though.
You could have.
Sounds like it is.
They weren't thinking about you. Like you didn't even need to set them up. You're just like, let me go ahead and put some more enemies in my plate real quick. Let me go ahead and let's drive over here and get these guys. And when I don't she didn't even have to do any of that. And that was this was her encouragement, her encouraging Bo-Katan to reunite everybody. So it's
because remember this. Remember Moff was like the Mandalorians. What's her name? The young lady that came to him was like, "Yo, man, the shit was fucked up by Mandalorians."
Yeah.
He was like, "Which Mandalorians?"
Oh, the pirate thing. I rolled my eyes so hard. I almost hurt myself rolling my eyes when she mentioned the pirates because that was their justification for putting that stupid ass shit in this show. The pirates got messed up. Man, if you don't, that was some lazy bullshit. But yeah, like, oh, the Mandalorians are a problem. But why were the Mandalorians a problem? Because the armorer's been trying to help Bo-Katan reunite people. That wouldn't have been an issue.
I think that's why Moff was like scoffed at it. Was like, "Oh, I got this. Don't even worry about it." But listen,
he's scoffed because he realized who it was, man.
Yeah.
That's why he said that. Like the scoff was which Mandalorians? Because I'm asking you a question I already know the answer to. I know which ones it was, but I'm gonna deal with them. And the whole thing is, if this whole spy theory about the armorer has any type of grounds, and her reasoning could be because what Tyrone said, that she may want to reestablish the Death Watch. But the best way to do that is to take the one who I see as the best leader to lead us back to Mandalore, reunite Mandalore, get us all on Mandalore. And let's say this for a second. What makes you think for 1 second that if the armorer wanted the Darksaber, she couldn't just take it from Bo-Katan? Mm-hmm. She's got skills. We saw that. She is not what do you mean? You mean what? She went off in one episode and I was like, oh,
with them hammers. Oh yeah, she was going in on that shit.
That's one scene though.
No, that's actually not one scene. And last season, she took out a whole unit of people. But
they're all Mandalorians.
Oh, you know what they're going to do? They're going to say that's when Moff Gideon made her. Moff Gideon captured her, made her a spy, and then released her into the wild again. I bet they're going to say that shit. I bet they're going to say the end of season 1 where we thought the armorer was going to go down fighting. She got captured and she got turned into a spy or whatever. I bet that shit happens.
What is it? What did they say they were going to take Din to debriefing? Or what is it?
Debriefing, yeah.
So
whatever.
Debriefing is that mind machine that they put in, and then they put
also real. I don't have a lot of specifics about this, but I just want to just real quick just say as a blanket statement, the New Republic is stupid as hell. All this shit's happening under their watch, and the Empire is making a complete resurgence. There's entire bases, entire fleets. The New Republic is terrible at their jobs. I mean, absolutely awful in their own, like right in their faces too. So I, just wanted to say, just shout out how bad the New Republic is at this, and no wonder the First Order rose so hard because damn,
they got like one good cop.
they got one guy in the X-wing who's like, wait a minute, this doesn't make any sense, and they're like, and then every time he shows up to tell somebody, they're like, hey, I got this paperwork, get out of my face.
Exactly right.
All right. Well, listen, I guess we'll see what happens on the finale next week. It looks like we're all about to cop out. I didn't know if we had time to check out the Marvels trailer. If not, I'm perfectly cool with it because I don't want to watch it either way. Because even if I play
you don't want to watch it? You don't want to watch it?
All right. So we'll go ahead and pull up the Marvels trailer.
Yeah, it doesn't give you any story or anything. It just gives you some cool shit.
Yeah, but I don't even like to see their outfits. I don't even want to see the powers. I'm gonna peek at it a little bit.
I'm not gonna lie. Like it gets you super geeked about what's gonna happen, and seeing Monica and seeing do
you want me to pull up the trailer or my thing?
I can't watch it, but I'm gonna put it on, and maybe I'll peek at a couple scenes. But yeah, ultimately, it's not.
I'll have it ready just in case yours is laggy.
Okay, my man. Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, get it ready. I think I should be okay today, but let's see what happens. Cool. Here we go with the. Hold on a second. I might have already messed it up. Okay, here it is. So here we go with what I guess folks are saying. Looks like a really dope trailer, and I'm not the only one. I learned this week that Michael, aka Black Gay Comic Geek, and Fantastic Frankie don't watch trailers, so I'm not alone in this whole don't watch trailers thing. So let's go ahead and give this a gander real quick and excuse me, see what it is that we think about it. All right, here we go. Pull up.
Captain Rambo, what the hell are you doing?
Entering the jump point perimeter. I'm gonna get you some readings, Fury. Hello?
Wow.
Hello?
Yeah, stop it.
It's lagging.
Yeah, it's lagging.
Captain Rambo?
All right.
Yeah, go ahead and play it, Tyrone.
All right, Tyrone. Yeah, that's
I got you.
I'm gonna abort. See, look at that. I'm already spoiled. I didn't even know that Sam was in it. I didn't even know Sam was in this joint. And now it's already. You didn't know
that was I thought that was something that was established like really early on.
I guess I should have expected him since he was heavily in the first one. I guess I should have expected it. So, but yeah, if you got it queued up, I'll go ahead and take mine down. I don't know why mine sucks so bad, man.
Because you got everything running right now.
Huh? What are we doing?
Everything's running on your internet right now, and then that's kind of play. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
That might be a good point. Thank you. Yes, the brains. Real quick shout out to Yvette for pulling up, for Gabrielle Dennis for retweeting, for Reese I don't even know what you call it, but sharing our story, for what's her name? Essence Maori, I guess that used to be her name. That is that Tia and Tamara's sister, their little sister?
Oh, is this not playing for you? Is that why?
So, yeah.
Is that why you're stalling? Oh,
okay. I stopped. I cut mine out.
Oh no!
Oh, my bad. Is it right here? This is yours. My bad. Hold on. Here it goes. All right, here we go. And go.
Captain Rambo, what the hell are you doing?
Entering the jump point perimeter. I'm gonna get you some readings, Fury. Hello? Hello?
Captain Rambo?
Is this an Avengers test?
Where's Captain Rambo?
What the? Hi.
We're looking for Kamala Khan.
Okay, so our powers are entangled. I can manipulate light energy. And you...
I could totally show you.
No! I'm not again! Hi.
Where's our daughter?
Wherever you are.
We're a team.
Oh, no. We're not a team.
We're not a team.
All right. It sounds great.
It looks good too. I'm happy the Florigan's back.
Okay. Look, I can't. I have to go back to my roots. I believe that if I didn't watch the Ant-Man trailers, I probably would have liked it more. And I have to get back to that mantra. So I will once again, henceforth, be relinquishing my trailer watching. However, I will say, just off hearing it, that I wish they had used Kid Cudi's Intergalactic instead of Beastie Boys Intergalactic, but that's just personal preference. But evidently, it sounds like it's good. Any thoughts on it, real quick, before we go?
If I had 2 nickels for every time Monica touched the wall and some weird shit happened, I would have 2 nickels.
yeah. There's some definite, like, I can't wait to see what some very specific things are. I won't say, I don't want to spoil anything for you, Vince. But overall, I'm most excited to have Iman Vellani back. Miss Marvel is like a star, and she absolutely ate everything in this trailer. And I can't wait to see more of her. She's amazing, and it looks so much. It looks fun. Can't wait.
It does. I love Kamala Khan. I think she is adorable. Her just like her personality, I think, is going to really like make this movie that much like tighter and cuter. Oh my gosh, I'm excited for this. And Monica Rambeau is going to. Oh man, that shit's gonna be so fire, dude. I can't fucking wait.
Do we think that this might be the transition from Monica to Photon, or Photon to Captain Marvel? I think Captain Marvel was a variant issue, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if Monica Rambeau actually did become Captain Marvel officially in the mainstream 616 timeline, if I'm not mistaken.
Photon.
Yeah, she's in this movie. She's Photon.
Yeah, and her outfits too. Like it's Photon colors and everything. So.
Okay. Do you think that this will help galvanize more support for Miss Marvel, as we saw that it fucked up, like
it's already
the white male fragility and
it's already it's got like an astronomical amount of dislikes already from the minute it dropped. Everyone was complaining, even on Facebook. When you look at like the articles about it, it's all laugh reacts and angry reacts. I don't get it.
Yeah, misogynist and racist will stay misogynist and racist. Yeah.
I just feel like everyone else is gonna make this movie, like us watching it is gonna it's gonna wake them up. Yeah, like they need to get out of that fucking man woke shit. That's why, Nolly, like you need to watch that Power show, because it is phenomenal.
It's definitely on my list. It's on my
I've been saying that. Yeah, I've been saying the Power.
I jumped on it. I listened. I jumped. I am like.
Yeah, I added it to my
I'm so deep, it's not even funny. That shit is incredible. I love it.
Well, I don't give a fuck what the anti-woke mob wants to try to throw into our heads. I think that this is, listen, I forgot who it was that said it, but somebody said historically, power does not yield, willingly. You know what I mean? So what we're watching is a patriarchy and a system that has been based on men, dominated mainly of certain hues, that are now realizing that they are not the dominant force in the world and having to sit back and watch it. And this is what it feels like. They're going to kick, scream, and complain about it every minute of it until it becomes mainstream. Let's not forget, this is what happened I know this is kind of a stretch, but the abolitionist movement had to deal with this type of stuff. The civil rights movement had to deal with this type of stuff. And so now, even in cinematic universe, we're looking at folks that are like the whole cry for Top Gun, and this is a real movie, and this is how this feels good. And I was like, get the fuck out of here. Just because it's like, a dude starring a white guy in the U.S. military, is like, get the fuck out of here. Like, nobody gives a fuck about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to, at some point in time, realize that, the world don't look like all these movies have looked all this time. You know? And
I don't think it's a stretch to compare all these things, Vince, because it's always the same people on the other side of the argument. That side never changes. So that's why it's always so comparable.
Here's the only reason I would slightly disagree with that, even though I wholeheartedly agree, but the only nuanced aspect of it is that I see a lot of black males saying this shit too. Like, I see a lot of black males in the comments saying like, the women, they're taking away the power. What happened to the masculine man and all this other? It's like, what the fuck is you talking about? Like, we got gone to the days of just Indiana Jones just Luke. Like get the. I mean, even the bit like when during Star Wars Celebration, evidently they released something about Rey resurfacing like a few years later and all this other shit. Like, it's like, yo, what the like? Why does it have to stay the same way throughout the whole entire time? Are people of color, women? We're supposed to just stand by and just let a white male dominated Hollywood completely dominate for the rest of our lives when they've had the last few centuries. You know what I'm saying? Like, get the fuck out of here, man. Get over yourself. I love Black Gay Geek's comment, his take on it, where he's like, white male fragility or male fragility is like at a new high. You know what I'm saying? Where it is, you can't even look at a trailer without being butt hurt over what you see over it. What's up, Ty? My bad.
No. I just one of the things that you said, I just want to tap into that because you was like the masculine. This masculinity, and it's not really masculinity; it's ignorance. And we need to call things what they are and stop always attaching masculinity to it. Because when you do that, you start making it seem as though masculinity is the reason what drives the men to do this, and it's not. It's ignorance. Ignorance is what drives these individuals to continue to have the same viewpoints and the same thought processes when it comes to women as opposed to men. That's what that is, and I just wanted to put that out there.
I think that's true. The only reason I bring up masculinity is because I've seen that in a lot of comments, like this whole erasure of masculinity, this whole notion that there's a secret society of folk that are looking to emasculate Black males specifically, and also to put the woman as the forefront, as opposed to the structure of the '60s with Donna Reed and Dad and Daddy Knows Best, where the man is the nucleus of all things. You know what I'm saying?
No. That's verbiage. That's verbiage. And again, I agree with you. But that's verbiage. It doesn't mask ignorance, but it's used to mask.
No, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? And that's all it is you have a person that comes out there and says, oh, it challenges my masculinity, so that you have what you feel like you have what do they say, you have a
validation
a thing in the fight. I have something in the fight. Now I have a reason to talk, and now I can express my opinion. But your ignorance is what has caused you to even feel like you need to assert yourself in the conversation. And so that's why I'm like when you hear people say, oh, this is emasculating or this is a masculinity, those are verbiage that they use in order to incorporate themselves into the conversation and mask it as the ignorance that they perpetuate. And that's all. Okay. That's it. So that's fair. So like,
fair point. I just think, where was his energy when Charlie's Angels came out? Or is it because it was called Charlie's Angels that it was fine? Because
Charlie's Angels is over sexualized and it's meant for the male gaze, so they don't have a problem with that. But the minute that a woman is strong, because even in Charlie's Angels, they follow Charlie. So
exactly.
We didn't even know who Charlie was until like the third movie, and all you did was get a glimpse of him on a beach, and that might have been him, it might have not been him. We don't really fucking know, and that's where it ended.
And how much of that movie is them going, I'm gonna dress real sexy so I can get into this party, so I can get some information.
I mean, even their response to Charlie, hey Charlie.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you, Charlie.
100%. Well, that's all the more reason for us to get a chance to speak to Z next week about what she went through with the Black Sands creator. I don't even want to say his name, and just address
calling himself Black Thanos, baby. You know what happened to Thanos? I bet you don't.
That was actually a beheading, if I'm not mistaken. So I can't wait till next week. Well, I don't know if it's going to air next week because it's an afternoon shoot, but we'll see what happens. And then, yeah, man, I think that this is a trend that is going to stick with us for a little while, and eventually we'll get over the hump, and it will be normalized the same way buckling your seatbelt was. I remember when fighting that, oh, I'm not buckling my seatbelt. God damn it, this is my rights. And all of a sudden now it's law and nobody says anything about it. Same thing with healthcare. Same thing with Black people in the White House, not just the presidents, but also the vice presidents, whether you like them or not, or think they was prosecutors or not. I think that you just have to roll over these folks and eventually they get in line. Remember, Martin Luther King was not being quoted by all these motherfuckers until 60 years after he died. Now all these motherfuckers that would have fought right against him and not have let him in his town and called him a communist and all this other shit, now want to quote his name to state they cause. And that was not always the case. So keep an eye out for folks who will quote what he says, but not exercise his policies. But I'll stop my TED talk, get off the soapbox. Just want to say thank y'all for chilling way past how long we said we was going to. I ain't gonna lie, we said it was gonna be like an hour. But yo, the Mando talk will Mando talk itself all the way through the whole show. We'll definitely be tuning in
to Mando next week, which I believe is the season finale. And then hopefully, man, maybe even watch some more of these other shows. I don't know what we're going to do with ourselves without Mando. We're not watching anything currently, and everything else is bingey, Shadow and Bone and all that other stuff. But I guess we'll jump on Titans. I don't know. Shit.
We got to. It's fun. It's fun.
I can't watch it right now.
Oh, my gosh. We'll get you right. Calm down. Well, look, calm down.
Let's go ahead and go. We got Nolly. Got to head out before the meds wear off. Tyrone's stomach. I can hear it through the microphone. And yeah, man, let's just go ahead and head out. So thank y'all for tuning in. As always, man, be your authentic self. If you ain't being yourself, being fake. And in all things, you a geek, go ahead, let that geek flag fly. And Yvette will take us to the bridge, old school style.
Hey guys, I love the new Blurred Order. You should too.
Whoa.